I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Dragons of War. We are rejoining the party after they have made it back to the town that had been infected by the Beholder, but is also in the path of the orc and goblin army that has now besieged their village. With the help of Gorakul and Bitey Slayer, they managed to hold off the initial wave of these hordes, but there is just no way that they're going to be able to continue to hold off these kinds of overwhelming numbers. There's, you know, battles where you can use terrain or surprise or other advantages and mitigate some numbers, but at the end of the day, if the numbers are just too formidable, then you're really just leaving yourselves uh
To a losing battle.
yeah, to a losing battle if you stay. And so you've managed to convince the leader to bring all but the warriors that he has to keep on the front line to defend the escape for the rest, and leave and try and escape. But that's going to take a series of skill challenges in order to try and use your survival and knowledge of nature in order to lead them, feed them, and keep them safely ahead of the hordes.
And
And
also the fact that we're also heading into the camps to deal with to surprise the horde. If I remember right.
well, that's not going to be able to happen now, as we were discussing in the Discord. So we're
Yeah.
doing the plan that's going to accommodate everyone who's here.
So are we
We'll
going to
see.
have sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I was going to ask, will we have a chance to do things like harry their supply lines or otherwise cause chaos to like give the town a little bit more time to set up barricades or draw some of their forces off?
Well, there's going to be a variety of skill challenges in order to try and buy the villagers as much time to get away as possible. But mainly you're counting on the fact that they're going to stop and ransack and resupply and rest at the village once they've gone past the defenders there.
Because I was thinking, if what was Brian? What was Tanya's character's name again?
That's
She ended up taking Pass Without Trace, right?
yes.
So if Pesci and is it Katla? No, it's not Katla.
It's Lucy.
Lucy. Yeah. If Pesci and Lucy work together with Lucy's Pass Without Trace and scouting, and Pesci's ability to sabotage and distract and deceive, the two of us could probably buy some time, or at the very least create enough confusion to reduce the forces that are attacking temporarily. Does that sound reasonable, DM?
Yeah, is she here though?
He's not, unfortunately. But do we want to?
Yeah. So therefore she wouldn't be able to roll to help with any of that.
Could she at least give me Pass Without Trace? It lasts 8 hours.
Yeah, that would probably be fine.
So Pesci can help assist with distractions and sabotage on their backlines.
Okay, sounds good.
Oracle, being the most in tune with nature, will help with the nature checks.
And I'm just gonna go out there and beat the crap out of anything that gets
Do you have any good survival, Dad?
survival. Yes, I have very good survival.
So you can help with the survival.
So
Sounds
the way this works is like with other skill challenges, to where you need a certain number of successes before 3 failures in order to try and successfully accomplish each of the individual tasks that you're attempting to accomplish here. In order to handle this as much in canonical order as possible, we'll do Pesci first, who you need to get 3 successes before three failures using stealth, arcana, and survival. And it has to be those 3. Like you have to get 1 success on each of those 3 before you get 3 failures.
Okay. Would deception be able to be of any use instead? If Pesci is planting evidence or sabotaging?
Deception would be more like lying straight to someone's face.
Okay. Are there any other ways I can get advantage or anything on these with people's assistances?
Well, you do have inspiration, one point of inspiration, but with D'Angelo and Gorakul leading everyone away, there's not really any player characters left to give you assistance.
And did we do a short rest or a long rest between our last encounter and this?
Yes, we did.
Okay. My stuff didn't reset, that's why I was asking. And it's been at least a day since I've used the wand, since we've been in the cave, right?
Right.
So the wand should be able to regain charges.
I also have the healing wand.
This 1d3 charges. Should I just roll a d6 and divide by 2?
There's a D3 if you right click on the D6.
I see it.
It's 2. I rolled for you.
No, okay. I will give back 2 charges. Cool. Okay. So, first roll. I'm going to roll stealth. I'm not going to use inspiration for this. Tease me with the 18.
Alright, so on your first roll, you are attempting to sneak around the army, but the scouts spot you and chase you for a while. You're able to get away and once again manage to hide, but that's 1 failure now.
Okay. Alright, so then in that case, I will use Bardic Inspiration on myself for the next roll. Where is... okay. Okay. Pesci psychs himself up with some heroic stories of people sneaking around massive armies. Okay. That's better.
Alright, now you have successfully completed one of the tasks with the stealth, leaving survival and arcana left.
Okay. So it didn't look like that used the bardic inspiration for that roll. Looking to see if, oh, there it is. Oh, let's try survival. And this should have the bardic inspiration on it.
Well, you used the bardic inspiration for that roll. It just, you needed to roll the extra d8.
Oh. There. It doesn't help.
No, you had passed that one anyway. But now, for the survival, you're trying to dig little like traps, set, snares, dig out areas where the wagons and carts and whatnot would have trouble passing, dragging logs into the way, just any kind of thing to slow them down that you would know from your survival skills and all of that. Um, you're trying to do, but you're a very small gnome, and these are very large, powerful orcs and trolls and ogres, and so for you to find a whole lot of stuff to slow them down is harder with just you than if you had, like uh, Ryan the fighter or D'Angelo the lizard folk, somebody with some muscle to come and back you up. So now you have 2 failures and you need 2 successes in a row now with survival and arcana.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try and use another point of bardic inspiration. See maybe if this will help. But it won't if I keep on rolling terrible. Maybe I need.
Yeah.
Let me change my. Look, I'm gonna change my dice color. Maybe that'll help.
And don't forget, you have to roll the d8 separately afterwards.
Make this red. All right. There's that, and there's that. A 1.
Fortunately, though, you found an area where there was a creek, and normally it's pretty easy to cross, but you managed to find some logs, perhaps a family of beavers or someone had been building a dam, but you're able to easily move these logs down to the crossing and just create a jumble of stuff that'll get in the way. But now you have your final test. You have to use some illusionary magic and arcana in order to get the greatest effect out of trying to slow them down. And so now you have one chance to get a success instead of a failure with your arcana. If you get a success, then the whole mission was a success and you were able to slow them down and buy the villagers some time to gather more supplies and get more people out and do all of that. If you fail, then like they're able to just plow their way through everything and you haven't bought any time.
Okay. I'm going to use a point of inspiration. Would using major image assist in this at all? Or is that assumed that I'm doing that?
Yeah, that's part of the assumption is that you're using all of the spells and everything that you have available in order to try and slow these orcs down as much as possible. The question is whether it's successful or not, and so rather than rolling save against a whole bunch of orcs or something like that, you're just rolling Arcana as part of the skill challenge.
Okay. So I'm going to use my last Bardic Inspiration point. I'm rolling with inspiration, so I'll.
And you better find a way to roll with advantage.
I use my inspiration point.
Yep. Plus he's adding Bardic Inspiration, so.
Yeah. Oof.
All right.
That's a 20.
So, you managed to disguise the trap at the river crossing to the point where some of the wagons get like damaged trying to cross because they didn't see everything, and so now they have to take extra time in order to try and repair their wagons and get the line back under control, because you know how it is when there's a line steadily moving forward and all of a sudden somebody stops up ahead, everybody behind starts getting all pushy and like in a traffic jam, and so the leaders have a lot to like deal with as they're trying to keep everybody in line and keep everything moving and get the repairs made that are going to allow them to continue on. And so as they're doing all of that, I imagine you have a little chuckle to yourself watching the success of your attempts to slow them down come to fruition, and then you catch back up with the main group, which we'll find out how the main group is doing now, because for you guys, you have two main goals. Well, three. First is to get everybody ready to go and headed out of the village as fast as possible. That's the first goal. The second goal is to keep everybody on the path and fed each day. And so that's going to be more of an ongoing thing. So the first skill challenge in order to get everybody moving is going to be in a wisdom check, and you guys can both roll that, or one of you can help the other plan how to best you know get out of Dodge.
So who's best at that? Because I mean, obviously, wisdom is not my. I'm a wise guy, but I'm not a particularly wise guy.
I have a
Oh,
plus
wise
3 in
guy,
wisdom.
eh?
Yeah.
I have a plus 3 in wisdom.
So
Yeah.
She's done his
So yeah, D'Angelo, if you want to roll your wisdom check, you can try and give Gorakul advantage, but even if you're unable to give him advantage, it would still be the same as if you didn't roll anyway, so you might as well try.
Hey!
That's perfect. So now Gorakul, D'Angelo actually has a pretty good plan about using uh, some of the stronger men to load up some of the wagons while they're moving, that they can like run ahead and keep putting them on the wagons, because oxen wagons don't move all that fast. So like you guys can actually start moving while you're still stacking up the wagons. And yeah, it'll be more constitution checks for the strong men, but like, you know, it gets everybody moving faster. So he's got a good idea for you, but now you get to roll with advantage a wisdom check in order to see if you're able to come up with a good exit strategy.
So, what do I roll?
Wisdom check with advantage.
Okay, okay. Okay. You roll, you can do this. No pressure.
Well, after D'Angelo rolled a 20, maybe a little pressure.
Gorakul sort of like using this information to his advantage, plans out a sort of idea of what to do with some guidance from the stars a bit, as he sort of uses not only D'Angelo's advice, but also the star map he holds.
Actually, you do have a bit of knowledge due to the stars that gives you an advantage. You happen to know that tonight is going to be a super moon, that it'll be extra bright, and although it won't quite be daylight, you guys can get a lot of things packed and ready uh, without alerting a whole lot of people, carrying lanterns and torches around. Um, so yeah, you guys are able to like kind of work through the night. Um, D'Angelo, now I need you to roll 3 Constitution saving throws.
Hey.
How good is your
I'm
constitution?
+6. Ha! Shit is that?
Halfway through the night, D'Angelo, you're running sacks of flour and other dry goods, to the wagons, but you're just so tired that you have to lay down and rest for at least a little bit, and they're without your help for part of the night. But
I, I'm going to at least try a medicine check to help out.
well, you can, but I mean, exhaustion is exhaustion. There's nothing really to be done about it other than to take the rest. Um, it's you know having run too far, or whatever, exerted yourself too much, you're burnt out, and you gotta take the little bit of a rest. And so they're without your help for part of the night, which slows them down considerably, as you're easily one of the strongest humanoids in the village. And as the morning hours begin to tick closer, and the bright moonlight gives way to the slight glow of pink and orange on the horizon as the sun begins to rise. You guys know that you have to be underway, so now begins the survival portion of the skill checks for each day. So somebody needs to keep you guys on trail. You said that you had a pretty good survival, D'Angelo, or was that Goracool?
I think I have a very good survival here. I think that's I'm a plus. I'm a +5 on survival.
Yeah, so Goracool, why don't you go ahead and roll to help?
Yeah. Does a 10 help?
Yeah, 10 is exactly enough to give him advantage now. When you roll, click on advantage, D'Angelo, for your survival check.
Nat 20!
There you go.
Oh, there you go. So, you're able to easily find the path, through the caves on the first day, and everybody is making good time. Now, the whole point was to save as much of the supplies for the upcoming winter as possible. So now you guys also need to roll for nature in order to try and scavenge and forage and find enough food to at least supplement what these villagers are eating.
I imagine D'Angelo will assist because I have the highest nature.
So you want me to try to that one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm +2 nature. And if I can
Yes.
Oracle.
Yeah, unfortunately, you do not get advantage on this roll, as he is too busy, guiding the villagers through the caves to help too much.
Well, at least I got a 22.
Yeah. So you're able to find some roots and basically like potatoes and stuff like that to make a stew out of. And the villagers, sadly, have been reduced in number enough to where, 2 or 3 large kettles of soup is all that's really required to feed them all now. Because a lot of them died yesterday.
Because of the army.
Yeah. I mean, they fought bravely, but
And also the fact that some of the strongest are back at the village trying to defend it.
yes. And so, now, Pesci, since you knew the route that they were going to take, now you just need to roll survival to see if you can catch up with your friends and find them.
Ooh. Let's see if Pesci can actually find you guys. Alright. Pesci looks in the woods. Oh. Pesci looked very well.
Yeah, you managed to cut in front of them and enter the cave system through a side cave. There was some kind of uh, dire millipede that was guarding the entrance, but a few prestidigitations and arcanic tricks from the gnome managed to easily scare off the arthropod and allow you access to the caves.
Hooray.
And so you are actually in front of them, like waiting for them as they come up around one of the tunnel bends.
I imagine Pesci's just like sitting on a rock or something, drinking. I don't know, what does he have? I would say tea, but I don't think he has any tea.
You might have been able to make some mushroom tea.
Okay. Mushroom tea and whatever I was able to scavenge off of the ruined supply carts.
Yeah. And so, D'Angelo, as you use your dark vision to scout ahead, you spot the small figure of your gnome ally.
Hey, how you doing there, dude?
Oh, hello. I didn't see you there.
I'm
I
sorry.
was
did
expecting
yell
you to
too
come
loudly?
later.
I shouldn't be yelling too loudly because there's a bunch of orcs around me. It's because I don't really have a ton of wisdom. I have some, but not a ton. It's actually intelligence. I've got an 8 in intelligence, so I'm not particularly smart. But it was good to see you. It's good to see you, man. How you doing?
Doing alright.
Was your tactics in distraction work well?
Oh, yes, yes. I have a story to tell you. Are you ready for my one-man play going over what I've done to these orcs?
We are always ready for your one-man play. Because I, too, am actually an entertainer. I have a lute. Why don't I pull out my lute and I can begin to play while you narrate?
Absolutely. Providing low jazz flute Jethro Tull style accompaniment to the story. You play your lute as Pesci. Go ahead.
Pesci recounts his heroic tales of dodging, ducking, diving, dipping, and dodging through the woods to find the band of orcs, laying a clever trap full of leftover remains of a beaver dam that he cleverly found upstream, and then his masterous use of arcane illusionary gnomic magic to trick the orcs into trying to go over this illusionary bridge into the river and destroying all their carts and securing a couple odds and ends of supplies that he's currently enjoying while he's waiting for you.
And this of course goes on for, way longer than what you would have expected, like an hour or more.
You should expect it to go on for at least over an hour when Pesci's doing a one-man show.
Yeah.
And Gorakul simply just, as this is going on, just sort of categorizing everything.
Well, we have to let all the troops catch up anyway, and take a breath. This is hard work. Need to entertain them a little bit to lighten their spirits up.
Yeah, and everyone watching is enjoying it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you did roll performance. Yeah, you did great.
Pesci's surprised that people are actually enjoying the show.
And Gorakul's just sort of making sure everything is in order as the entertainment is going.
Yes, indeed. The wagons and villagers continue to move forward through the caves. It's gonna take you a while to come out the other end, but you know, you're making good time.
Indeed.
And then as you know, this day draws to a close and you guys, set up your camp as best you can and get your long rest in before heading out again. Um do you guys do anything special for the encampment?
Well, I make sure to mark it with mark it with the with sort of the symbols of constellations for a sort of form of protection.
Pesci will leave some. I guess he'll come up with some. He can't really do traps, I guess, but he can lay like tripwires and stuff that could raise an alarm. Would that work?
Sure.
Could Bitey Slayer assist with traps?
I can help you string some strings, and we can attach little like metal bits to them to make noise.
Okay, that works. Should I roll something, or we're just doing it?
No, that's just done.
Okay. Who is taking watch?
I'll
We,
take
we should
watch.
set up a watch.
Big. I'm strong. I watch things. I have night vision.
We could set up a rotation so that everyone gets rest.
Sure. I'll take the first shift though.
Pesci will take the second shift. Because Pesci also has dark vision.
I suppose so. He has wise eyes.
Is the
So for your role, your shift on watch, go ahead and roll a perception, D'Angelo.
oh come on the side of the thing there. It just rolled the side of the thing. All right, whatever.
So you don't really notice anything and are getting tired when you go to wake Pesci up to let him know that it's his shift.
Pesci, your turn.
Okay.
Scream if you see anything.
Should I roll perception?
Yeah, but now when you roll perception, D'Angelo has told you that he hasn't heard or seen anything, so you're going off of that assumption.
Okay. Cool. So Pesci rolls perception. Knowing that orcs are on our trail and that we've had issues in this cave anyway, even when we thought we were safe.
Yeah, but with D'Angelo telling you that, like, everything was all clear, uh, you only hear some very faint, uh, like hoof steps, which could be, a whole lot of things. Like there could be a chimera in this cave somewhere.
Chimera, or it could be a horse that got loose, or an ox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So hoof steps, nothing else.
Yeah.
Is it multiple, singular?
You just hear hooves in the distance echoing through the caves. It's really hard to tell because, like, it's cave echoes.
Okay. Well, being sort of the clever and cautious gnome that likes to play tricks on people, Pesci tries to hide himself a little bit better and try to keep an eye out and see if he sees anything unusual.
Okay, roll for stealth. Yeah, so you're hiding yourself amongst the villagers and trying to like keep an eye out, but all you see is like, the couple hundred villagers that you have down here.
Gotcha. I guess keep an eye out until it's the next person's shift.
Yeah, so you keep your eyes peeled, but you don't hear or see anything for the rest of your shift, and as you wake the last guard up, do you tell them about possibly having heard something?
Of course. Say I heard, not to alarm you, but I heard something that sounds like hooves in the distance. Not sure if maybe it was just the weird echoes in this cave and it's just the ox kind of shifting a little bit, or maybe some other animal got loose down here, but, stay alert, keep an eye out.
I've heard you gnomes are flighty creatures of imagination to begin with.
Yeah, but there's also orcs chasing us, so it's good to stay on your toes anyway. If you want, I can make it scarier to keep you more attentive.
No, that was a good point.
To tell you tales of the horrible creatures from the faraway plain as he starts getting a 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
Actually, yeah. As you keep this guard more alert by reminding him of how very palpable the danger is, you gain a point of inspiration for making sure that he doesn't just go out there being like, yeah, psh, stupid gnome probably making stuff up.
You just share the drama.
Of course, it's a shared trauma. At the very least, until he gets this egg or whatever it is out of his leg.
Right?
Who knows? Maybe it'll make a cool pet.
Preferably while it's not inside me.
Yes.
Post removal.
So yeah,
Don't need a mind flayer taking over.
as they are halfway through their watch, they wake everybody up, letting them know that They can hear something coming in the distance. You guys have to move once again.
Okay.
And Gorakul also trying to help out with this sort of situation. Let me see if I can do anything. I decide to use a bit of the vigilant blessing on good old D'Angelo.
And that's for me to then roll.
No, advantage on initiative.
Do I roll initiative?
No,
No.
we're not rolling initiative. You guys have to like get moving before the orc army descends upon you. It'd be an absolute slaughter if they caught up with you guys.
Yeah.
Right. So we're moving.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
I'm
just,
just
it's
casting the blessing on you in case there's some initiative rolling need.
Yeah.
it's a class feature, Brian.
The subclass feature.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So he's designating your target for his feature, so that way you would get the bonus.
Yep.
DM, should I just we rested and it's morning, right?
Yeah.
So I'll give myself the last charge and restore my bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And Gorakul is also going to, if it's alright, maybe I could cast invisibility on Pesci?
How long does that last for?
1 hour per level.
Yeah, 1 hour.
Is that going to be something useful? Did you want me to like go backwards and see how far away they are and maybe create like a misleading trail?
Yep.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to create a trail of a couple hundred people.
But I may be able to create a trail going off in a different direction to maybe distract a few of them. I don't know. At the very least, I could see how far away they are before rushing
Right.
back up.
Yeah. I mean, that part is solid.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do that if invisibility
Yeah.
can assist in that. Or could maybe was there maybe a point where we can collapse the cave a little bit to create like an
I
obstacle?
wouldn't collapse the cave.
Well, create an obstacle of some sort.
Possibly, but also, I mean, before you could even like discuss collapsing the cave, I'd need to know how you intended to do that. But
That's true. Maybe if it was like a weak point, we could create some sort of an explosion to collapse it. But we'd have to find a weak point.
and be able to create an explosion.
Could potentially create an explosion. I mean, with
I
the help of
wouldn't.
Spidey Slayer, probably could create some sort of fiery explosion.
Mostly firebolt and
You
solar
recently-
ray or whatever,
You also recently got a fireball.
and fireball.
Yeah. Okay. Well, at the very least, I'll go and see how far back they are. Get very carefully.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your stealth for that.
And you have advantage because you're invisible.
Depends on how long the invisibility lasts.
Long enough to go back.
Okay. Should I roll with advantage then?
Just roll one more time regularly.
I rolled a 4. It didn't show up in the thing for some reason. Here. That's even worse.
So
I'll stick with the 13 roll.
yeah, so as you invisibly make your way back, you see that indeed there are spider riding goblins that are following your guys' trail. They are very fast moving due to riding these giant spiders, and so they're basically like keeping up with you and sending word back to the main horde where you guys are at.
Okay. All right. I rush back up to the party. And I relay the information of how many did I see?
Like 2 dozen?
2 dozen. Oof. I relay that I saw about 2 dozen. Well, just first to Garcool and D'Angelo that I found about 2 dozen spider riders tracking us. They're moving at a reasonably quick pace. They will catch up to us probably.
Yeah. That doesn't sound good.
How many archers do we have?
Like actual archers? Like none.
Well, with people with bows and arrows.
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe 10.
Okay. Is there a path that, as we're moving along, like a choke point that we can use?
It'd be worse for you than for them.
But if only one of them can come at a time, and we maybe could cause issues for them? I'm not sure. Why would it be worse for us instead of them?
Because you guys have the weaker fighters, and so whenever you're in a situation where it's 3-on-3 or whatever like that, then the 3 stronger fighters have the advantage.
Yeah, I'm not looking to engage them fighting. I'm looking to kind of harry them a little bit.
I'd be happy to engage them fighting because that's what I do. I'm a big
Because,
fighting things.
well, between these are spiders, right? And we do have 3 mages that could probably cause enough of an issue with them, and we can kind of, if we harry them a little bit, that may slow them down and give the larger group time to keep on moving. I'm not looking to take them out, I'm just looking to slow them down and try to keep pace with the larger group. Does that make sense, DM?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just letting you know that the results are not guaranteed to be positive. Like if you slow down to try and harry them and the spider poison incapacitates any of you or paralyzes any of you, that could be really bad.
I'm only looking to stay at range. I'm not looking to physically engage them. Like snipe at them.
Well, you know what they say about plans.
They usually go poorly. Is there a bridge or anything that we cross? Is there, like, what's the terrain that we're crossing over? Maybe there's something in the terrain we can use to our advantage.
It's mostly just like earth and limestone caves.
Okay. Is there any points where there's a lot of, like, stalactites? This being a limestone cave?
I mean, there's some, yeah.
So how effective would like a firewall be if it hit the limestone? Would it dislodge them and cause it to fall on on our followers?
I mean, maybe? You wouldn't know until you tried.
Garacul, Pesci's thinking really hard, reaching really far back into all of his heroic tales of stories of people being overcome and surviving large, impossible orcish hordes.
From what I heard, it's a bunch of goblins on spiders, so it isn't really orcish, more or less goblinoid.
Yeah, but they're catching up to us. Are we outpacing them, DM, or will they catch up to us?
Oh no, they will catch up to you. Like they they're already caught up to you. They're just staying far enough back to keep an eye on you and keep reporting on you.
Okay.
Well, we could create a wall of fire if we have the right materials.
Could we take out? How are they reporting back? Are they sending like person back or something?
Yeah, they just send, 2 or 3 guys back and then cycle through as needed.
Are these goblins on spiderback that they're sending back, or on foot?
Nope, they're goblins on spiders.
Is there any sort of trap that we may be able to set, like what Garacul suggested, a wall of fire?
I mean, you can put a wall of fire between you and the goblins.
That be useful to do, Bitey Slayer?
Bitey Slayer always likes fire.
We should make sure to put down some kindling so the fire actually burns.
Burn. Great prophet, Johnny Cash would say.
I do not know that one.
Great.
What kindling do we have available to us? Is there like any heavy oils or anything?
Well, they have cooking oils and stuff like that with the village.
What does the village chief think? What can he do anything to assist us in this?
He thinks that you guys should just keep moving as fast as possible.
All right. I guess then we'll keep moving, and we'll see if we can find something in our path, in the terrain, to use it in our advantage to get these guys off of us. How about that?
Yeah. So somebody's gonna need to roll for survival to continue on the right path today.
I'm going to help.
I will. Oh, okay. My survival is terrible.
Yeah, my survival's good, so I'm the guy.
You have advantage.
I'm a survivor. Hey, baby.
And could you lead us through a spot where, like, maybe the carriage, our caravan can fit, but maybe the Orcish army might have issues?
I will survive.
I will survive.
I will be that. I will survive. Hey.
Well, he is able to lead you guys through an underground river, which does like help disguise your tracks a little. But I mean, don't expect the orcs to be so stupid as to not figure out where you went eventually.
Yeah.
Could we can I create a like if we're not being observed anymore for a while and there's like a path that kind of goes out, could I create like an illusion of a wall or something, of a natural wall to trick them for a little while longer while our people get ahead? Like I'm imagining like, you know, the underground, like the underwater pathway that we're taking, not underwater, but
Yeah.
water pathway. There may be stuff that's branching off to the sides or keep going.
Yeah.
And we have the spider guys following us, but they're far enough away that they can't specifically see us.
Right.
Create a wall over the path that we actually went so they don't see it and they keep on moving.
Yeah.
But then they'd have to double back to us at some point.
Yeah, so you can check off your spell slot for major illusion there.
Sure.
And then oh, what? Did that not roll? All right, so you're able to buy yourselves a little bit of time, but the spiders are able to like use tremor sense, and so like illusionary walls don't work as well against them because they can like feel that there's no tremor coming from that rock.
Well,
Okay,
that's
but
stupid.
I mean, it gives us a little bit of time. That was what all I was looking for.
Yeah, it bought you a little bit of time.
Like I would think like they go past it, and then they're like, wait, something's wrong. And they come back around and come back
Right.
to it. Maybe they lost like an hour-ish.
Yeah, exactly how that went down is like, you don't just go walking right into a wall, so they turn, and then after a while they're like, wait, no, I don't think they came this way, and they go back and then they discover the wall, etc.
Yeah, the wall is gone. Okay, cool. That was what I was looking for. So that
Yeah,
gave us an extra hour-ish of time.
Yeah, it got you guys that much further ahead, which is important because now the decision is, do you try to take another long rest, which, obviously the spider riders caught up to you when you were long resting last time, or do you push on through the night?
Pesci suggests we push it on and maintain our distance.
Can I roll a medicine check to see if that would affect the people negatively?
You can do an overall medicine check to see how tired everyone is.
Yes, I'll do that.
I mean, everyone's pretty tired. It's pretty hard to tell. Some of them might not be able to keep walking through the night.
What if
May
we
I-
take a short rest and I assist with a song of rest to make it more relaxing and more refreshing? Split the difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can definitely, do a short rest and see if that would be enough.
Garcool, can you find any underground fungi or anything that may be able to be used as like a stimulant to assist these people?
Is that survival, isn't it?
That'd be knowledge nature to find coffee mushrooms.
Understood. Nature is good. 21.
So, there is like a tea-like substance that you can brew up that can, give everybody a little bit of an energy boost. And taking the short rest, obviously, like right now, everybody's feeling pretty good having short rested, but whether or not they're going to make it through the night is still up in the air. And so the first thing that we need from you guys is the survival check again to try and stay on the course to push through the night and get out of the caves.
Who is Darko? Are you going to assist again?
Yep.
Cool. Pesci
Natural
attempts
20.
to continue helping people with his song.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so yeah, you get advantage, D'Angelo. And you guys are able to find your way, but now do the villagers make it? And so,
Really good song. He's just played Ring of Fire like in 20 different languages. Being Elvis.
No, Pesci plays Freebird nonstop.
Freebird! Freebird! Woo!
so the villagers, we're going to do as a series of constitution checks. We're gonna make 5 rolls, and if they get 3 failures before 3 successes, then they don't make it. No, 19. All right. So towards the very end, they start to get a little bit tired, and you just all manage to clear the cave, but your villagers are exhausted. The orc riders are the goblin spider riders are not far behind you now in the caves, but everybody's tired, and so now you guys set up with what warriors you have to be able to face the goblin spider riders as they come out of the caves, and then get going before the rest of the orc horde shows up. Hopefully this buys a short rest for the rest of the villagers as well while you're doing this. As you get your spells ready and get into position, you hear the chittering of the spiders, and they come crawling out of the caves, and that is where we draw to a close for this session of Dragons of War. I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone,
Good gaming!